Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, and today we're going to talk about OXLC. It is a CLO that's paying about 20%. That's right, 20%. And let's talk about what a CLO is. So the first thing you have to know about CLOs is they are senior secured loans. So when you have a company's assets, you have equity, preferred equity, mezzanine, high bond debt, and then you have senior secured loans. So if the company fails, common equity takes the first hit. People that get paid first are senior secured loans. So CLOs are structured by tranches. Equity tranche, being the lowest, takes the biggest hits, but they get the biggest gains. And then it moves up in the classes to the equity, BB, triple Bs, and so forth. They have seniority over the equity tranche, but default on loans are normally only made due to a change in the company. As interest rates go down, everybody's using SOFR, Secure Overnight Finance Rate. This rate is a floating rate. So as the Fed lowers the rate, so will these companies' rate be adjusted down. As their loan gets adjusted down, they'll be able to make the payments. So there'll be even less default than there was before. I should say, possibly less default. And none of this is financial advice, it's just Brad's interpretation. And today I'm reading an article, or I'm going to present part of an article from Seeking Alpha. Link to the article below, but I'm also at the end of the video going to put a tag up here, and I'm going to have the article read to you just in case you're not a member of Seeking Alpha and you want to hear this article for yourself. So normally the first question you get asked is, does this drip an NAV? Because not only is this a 20% payer, but it also has a program that you're allowed to get shares if you drip at a 5% discount. My calculations do not put the 5% discount in. That's on top of that 20%. So what do they invest in? And this is a difficult one because normally this is spelled out a lot more. You actually have to go look through their financials to find this. And by the way, the latest financials will be a link below. So CLO equity is 97% in the future, and CLO debt is 3% in the future. Right now it's 94 and 6. But they're going to be moving more into CLO equity into the future. One thing that needs to be discussed is they have CLO equity that has not paid out yet. And this is similar to what they saw in December of 2021 for those that have been tracking this longer. So there's $475 million invested in CLO equity that hasn't made any initial distribution yet. And that is going to make a nice surprise for people that haven't been tracking it. When we look at this, keeping in mind they have to pay out all the distributions at 90%, just like a lot of these other companies. But what they've done is they have a net investment of $279 million for Q2 next year already lined out for it. So how does these financials look? And that's important. Digging into their financials, they can afford to pay us their distributions right now. They're paying about 9 cents a share. But if you look at that 2025, they're going to pay distributions pay 27 cents. So that's that. They're paying you 27 cents every quarter, 9 cents a month. And they're a monthly payer. This allows you to see that they can cover that 9 cents because their net income is 32 cents projected and all the way out to the second quarter of 2025. And you look at the fourth quarter, their income is projected at 35 cents. So now you can see how this affects your distributions. So they have more income than their distributions. That's why they're able to buy more of these loans. When we look at these loans, how many of these loans are actually in one industry. If you look at the holdings by industry, the top 30 equals 99.8% of all the holdings. The largest being in high tech at 11.3. But you can see how it gets distributed through all the different industries. And no one industry takes a hit harder or less than another industry. But if, let's say, high tech has a issue over the next few years, it's let's say high tech has a issue over the next few years, it's only 11.3% of their total portfolio. And diversification is great. The next one is banking. And we know the federal government bails out the bank, so that's fairly safe to say that one's not going to go anywhere very quickly. So I did 2 back testing. I took it from June of 2020, and then I did another one all the way back to 2018. And I used 2018 because they became monthly payers in 2018 instead of quarterly payers. I look at this, my $50,000 investment. I'm able to pull out my 8%, which is $333 a month. And look at that. If I would have invested, I would have almost tripled my money in the last 4 years. So this is something that you can sit back and go, that appears to be a pretty good investment. Now, I could take more than my 8%, but hey, right now I'm going to take my 8% and be happy. I'm going to go back and look at 2018 and see how it made through COVID. It didn't do so well during COVID, but I'm still able to take my 8% and still able to have more money now than I started back in 2018 living off of my 8%. So I look at this going, I'm fairly secure being able to sleep at night using something like this in my portfolio. Does another black swan come along? I doubt it. It will take something big, but you can't always live for the black swans of the day. Living in fear gets you nowhere. Like I said at the beginning, there's going to be a link up here someplace, one of the sides, to the article if you want to listen to it. I'm going to have that as a separate video so you can listen to the article if you choose to, or you can click the link below. And one thing I should say, they always drip at that discount, and historically they've always been slightly above, but there is a couple points, and here's the graph of how far they're above their current NAV, and it's about 9%. You're going to get that discount, but there has been times that they haven't been. One thing I'm going to announce, and this is the first announcement, is going forward, I'm going to have memberships to the channel. I came up with 3 different tiers. I will post a video, but starting today will be what you'll be able to get once you become a member. So for $2.99, you're just going to get a badge, be able to participate in polls, and support the channel. For $4.99, you're going to get access behind the scenes. So behind the scenes pictures of Brad, you're going to get his total portfolio, excluding dollars, but actual percentages in each one of the funds, so you can see how much I have in business development companies, how much do I have in CLOs. So that gives you a little more planning, and that's only my income portfolio. Next, you're going to get a copy of the Excel spreadsheet. So today I used 2 Excel spreadsheets. You have access to both of those. You can go do your own back testing. I don't care if you do or not. They're going to be unlocked to be able to put the data in, but I did lock the part that will mess everything up with where all the math is. But being able to put the data in, taking it from monthly to quarterly to weekly, you'll be able to do that yourself. You tell which one it is, it does the math for you, and it makes a nice little graph for you. So that will be available, and you're going to get member-only videos. So it's not a bad deal. I'm trying to give you a little bit. Also, there's going to be a PDF version of every slide that I use during my videos. So when I post up a video, you're going to have access to all the slides in a PDF form in case you want to go look at them later. So it'll come out later this week. I'm finishing up everything, and I'll have an official announcement probably tomorrow or Friday. And I will post back to this video so you can have this video going forward as information. Maybe you want to keep it. Maybe you want to have the slides. Maybe you want the Excel spreadsheets. And there's going to be a last tier. The last tier gets everything that I just mentioned, plus you get a monthly conference call with me if you want to talk to me. Anyway, until next time, God bless, and go listen to the article if you choose to do so.